Betsy stole the show today. We might not be able to stitch if I'm just dancing. Look! Oh no. I see, okay, so I have my microphone right here, and it's so you can hear me, but I can't keep it there. She posted it yesterday, yeah. It was very funny. I just I schedule the stream and I don't go back to it until I do the stream. Good morning, Coco! And I just opened YouTube and opened the stream like 10 minutes ago, and there's Betsy. So I messaged her on Instagram quick. Okay, let me see if I can... Here, let's put it here because that's where the pattern is. So maybe I'll be looking over there. Look what it is, you guys. It's my USA pattern. Boy. Camera work is getting even better these days. Hey, Leonie! Leonie? I still don't know how to say your name. So it's been like 3 months since I've worked on this piece. So I got going on it yesterday. I stitched some on this yesterday. Some meaning like over 1,000 stitches, which they're half stitches, but you know, it's still kind of a lot. And of course I picked like the lightest color to stitch for y'all. Hi friends! How's your Sunday? We're only gonna go for an hour today because Michelle Bendy is streaming on Twitch. Can you hear me? It seems like you can. Maybe I need to turn my music down a little bit. I'm jamming too hard. There. Where am I going? I rely on the little audio things. What? What? So how's it going? It's going good for me. Yay. You don't hear me twice. That's gonna haunt me. Since that happened in my floss tube, it's just gonna be like I'm gonna double, triple check all the time. Hey, Zan! So I keep going back and forth with this piece, this stitching, as Darcy calls it. And when I'm diagonal stitching, but I'm like also cross-country stitching. So like I'm sort of following the diagonals. Oh yeah, I need to watch that too. I started watching it and then I think I got distracted. The intro was very cute. Ashley always has these really cute intros to her videos. So I'm diagonal stitching, but I'm like I'm kind of cheating. Like right here, I did cross country because there's like, I don't know, 20 colors in here, which is a lot. But then like the fabric gets super thick. Does that happen to anyone else? Obviously. It must. 2. 3. 4. Oh, I see. Hang on. Yeah, so this is a thick canvas. Okay, good. I'm not the only one. I figured that we would have some real country music for Merca. I officially, it's not the first day of school, but I start school tomorrow. I've had a week where I don't have any obligations, but the week before that was beginning teacher, new teacher summer institute. So I got some information, and I finally got my email address yesterday. They finally emailed us our email addresses. And I will see my classroom tomorrow. Yeah, Coco, I didn't really realize it. I feel like that's something you don't really think about. You're like, oh, on the front it'll look good. And it does. But it like feels so thick. In other news, you start your internship tomorrow, so yay! It Ashley, it makes me laugh so much. Because of what you typed. And it also makes me laugh because it held it. It was like, are you sure this comment should be out? That's not the email, everyone. Don't email that email address. Dream a little dream of me. Oh no, copyright. In other news, as I was saying, I decided to put all of my DMC in a master set because I'm starting Barnyard Animals soon. I have Manhattan Beach started, and I have this started. So I have 3 large patterns. Well, 3, full coverage color patterns. Yeah. Yep, it was, you're spreading an email. So, because usually I would take the project and kit up the floss with it, but this project has 150 colors. The beach has 90, but some of them are the same as this one. And then I'm starting Barnyard Animals, which has some of the same. So it's like, why would, and I think what made me do it was that, like, the colors that you don't use very much of, but you have a full skein of it. And I already have enough duplicate skeins, or duplicate bobbins to drive me crazy, so I want to try to avoid duplicate bobbins. Meaning, a bobbin with the same color. 2 of the same. I don't like it. I don't want it anymore. So, what I did was, I have quite a few of these guys, these organizers, and I just put them all in a master set. They fit in like 3, and I'm missing a few of the colors, but not very many of them. I do have to go buy some more. But I was watching Stay at Home Stitcher. What's her actual name? Erin. No. Erin? Ashley, is that Erin's name? Is that Stay at Home Stitcher's name? That's an idea too. You can do pre-cut stuff, because I do have some of these floss cards, but I think I like bobbins because it keeps them all contained. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, I like organization, but I'm not very organized. Excuse me. So, like, any excuse that I can pretend to be organized, I take it. Oh, it was Erin. Okay. I was watching Erin, her new video, and she got this, like, I love it. I love it. It's totally American to go to Harbor and Freight or like Ace Hardware and get a drawer organizer that's meant for nuts and bolts and screws and nails, and put your floss in it. I love it. She was like, 10 bobbins fit in each drawer and it fits the whole set. And I'm like, yes! I think that's what I'm gonna do, because there's not really any practical reason to take a full coverage anywhere except your stitchy spot. So I'll always be stitching a full coverage at this desk probably, and I don't want to buy a whole bunch of floss that I won't use. I already have enough that I won't use. So I think I'm gonna I'll stick with this for a while probably, but I think I'm gonna copy Erin and just do the old nuts and bolts organizer. I mean, this works, but it's not all like, it's still kind of. I also cut my floss kind of weird, or I do my bobbins kind of weird. Like some of them I do wind like this. I guess I can show this camera. Some of them I have wound like this, but I started doing it differently. When did I start doing it differently? I don't remember. I think I watched a tutorial and I decided to do them differently. So what I do is I cut them into 6 equal lengths. I cut the skein into 6 equal lengths, and then it's kind of like, so then I have one length that is my working length. So if I need a length, I just pull it out of this. But then the rest of them are wound up like this. Here, let me take it out. The rest of them are wound up like a. She did! Hey, Erin! Wound up like a floss drop. So I like attach it on there like a floss drop. And then I started buying bobbins that have a little bit extra space here. And then I just wind this up. Wind it up! Any Gwen Stefani fans here? Wind it up! Wind it up! Maybe I'll do like a... Oh, that was, this was 444. Let me see if I have 744. I do have it! Look down. I have it. Aaron, I was just telling the people that I think I'm gonna copy you on your floss organization. Because I saw that you just like have it all in one place in the nuts and bolts organizer thing. I was like, what a fabulous idea. I'm gonna move this over a little bit because the chat is kind of out of sight. So having this out, having this project out, I'm just itching to have more projects, which is dangerous. And here's why I'm itching to have more projects, is because this is on 25 count. And I like stitching on it. And my my beach is on 40 count. And I like stitching on it. And I'm starting Barnyard Animals, which will also be on 40 count, but a different style of stitching. I'm gonna do that one cross country, sort of. We'll see if I keep that up. And then I have one on 18 count. And I kind of want to start one on 28 count. 2/1. Help, Ashley! What do I do? Don't get sucked in. And I think that I don't know. So full coverage, it's just like, you know, whenever it gets done, it gets done. Whenever you get stitches in, you get stitches in. Because there have been times where I have been like, I want to stitch, but I don't really want to stitch that. I don't want to stitch that. I don't want to stitch on this fabric. I don't want to stitch with this many colors. And you just need variety, right? We're getting to these logs eventually. Oh, I suppose, Coco, I think that's when I was looking to start this one, I think I saw people say 28 count is super bulky. And I think that's why I went with 25 count. But I also don't, I mean, I like the coverage of 25 count, but there's still some holes. I think that's why I'm itching to do one on 28. Is that done? Oh, no. This is so light that I can't see if there's a stitch in this spot. But there was not. When I'm hitting my nose on my camera. I'm sorry. Yeah. Good coverage, Coco. That's what I was thinking. Oh, okay. I'm very embarrassed to admit that I have not been watching you, Coco. But I will admit it. Because I don't want to be like not genuine. Well, that was a mistake to just search Coco. I'm not even subscribed to you, girl. Okay. I know what's on what's up for the rest of my Sunday. Girl, I'm gonna go watch you. I'm so sorry. This is hard to see. Okay. I was gonna buy a light. We do need lamps in here. It's kind of like the last thing that we're thinking about getting because other things were more pressing, like a shelf to put all of our games on. And the stitching stuff. I got this little cart. That thing. It's like it's like one of those rolling carts. And I put all my stitching stuff in there. So that's done. All the important things are done, except a lamp. So then I went to Amazon, as you do. And I was like, look at all these choices. This is my thought process. I start the things when I want and just work on them when it calls. Exactly, sweet. Stitch what you want when you want. I love that. So this was my thought process when I was trying to buy a lamp. I went to Amazon because variety, right? And then I was like looking at them and I was like, look at all these. Oh, it's the song. A channel that I watch in my regular life. Regular life. As if stitching isn't my regular life. She uses this song. Anyway, sorry. Thinking out loud. So I was like, look at all these options. This is my thought process. Look at all these options for lamps. Why did people invent a stitching lamp when we have book reading lamps? Why do we have book reading lamps? Like, did we get so lazy that we couldn't just use the bedside table lamp? Why are there so many options? Is there a market for this? And then I didn't buy a lamp. So I don't know. It's feel like very weird. See, Ashley, you should stream because you're so good at engaging everyone. What is everyone working on today? Ink circles, castle walls. Pretty, Coco. Oh. Wait. Why is someone selling? Are they allowed to sell that on Etsy? I don't think you're allowed to sell that on Etsy. Oh, sorry. This is what Coco is working on. Yeah. Look, I figured it out. That's beautiful. I've been wanting to Start in ink circles. Working on your big full coverage. More than 300 stitches. Yay! I love the transparent tapestry. Lanny, I decided, well, okay, this is just me. This is just me. So if this isn't you, then don't pay attention to what I'm saying. But, and I realized this when I tried to do black and white monogame, is that for me, someone who is not very good at setting and meeting and working towards goals, I'm not good at that in my real life. Like, it's so constricting to me. And granted, there are things, you know, deadlines that I have to meet, so I don't have a choice but to try to meet the goals. But especially with the hobby, like, I don't do well with, I expect myself to get this many stitches a day, or I expect myself to finish a project by this time. I just can't tell what in the world is going on here. Oh, that's what's going on. So I just, like, I don't set an expectation for how many stitches I stitch a day. So sometimes I stitch 100 or less. And then sometimes, like yesterday, I stitched 800 half stitches on my beach project. And then I came around and stitched like 1,200 on this half stitches. So it's like, and I didn't get anything done yesterday. Nothing. Except washing the dishes. That's it. We did take a walk. That's it. Like, I was sitting here the whole day. And then you find a way to justify it to yourself, right? You're like, well, I start school tomorrow. I'm gonna have to wake up early tomorrow. So I'm treating myself. Right? I already got my TB test. Do you want to see something gross? Ew, Kaylee, why are you showing us that? I have no idea. I have to go get it read on Monday. Marketing ploy. Oh. Coco, I don't really understand. It's just a marketing ploy, same as... What, selling patterns on Etsy? That are available on the real website? I better make sure that I'm stitching the right thing. 1, 2, 3. That's true. That's true, Leonie. I mean, and if goal setting is your thing, then do it. Then, oh, the different lamps. Right, yeah. If goal setting is your thing, then just do it. Because there's nothing like feeling accomplished on your goal. But there are some people, like, I think I'm part of this group where it just cripples you and you don't feel like doing anything. Like, oh, I have to meet my goal. Well, there's no way I'm gonna meet it now, so I might as well just not try. It took a while for me to undo the shame that I felt when I didn't meet a goal. Because I would never recognize progress. I wouldn't recognize that I had done some work towards a goal. Even though I hadn't met the goal, I learned how to recognize the work that I did do. Still learning how to do that, but you know, one day at a time. You get better one day at a time. Yeah, Ashley, you were talking about that in your video, your last one that I watched, not the most recent one, but that's why, like, I watch Alma's Little Wonders. Oh no, Coco. Internet gremlins are terrible. It could be me too, because I know that when I stream, I have a little lag. I watch Alma, and she is in multiple Facebook groups where there are like prompts, and you have to complete a certain amount of stitches or whatever. And she's one of the first people that I started watching on FlosTube, like when I really started to get into FlosTube. And I am still amazed at how organized in her brain all of these prompts are. And I'm like, doesn't she get exhausted from that? But Alma must be someone who's like very goal driven. You've learned a lot. You've learned to set smaller goals because big goals give you anxiety. Me too. Yeah. And sometimes small goals even give me anxiety. Well, yeah, Lana. Also, if you understand that, like, if you don't meet the goal, then you're flexible to set a new one or modify the goal, you know, so that you're not, like, always mad at yourself or always sad about not meeting your goal. I'm sorry for laughing, Zan, but that's you, like, you're talking about me. I used to make these like really huge goals, and then when I didn't meet them, I was like, oh, I'm the worst person. I suck. I'm terrible. I can't do anything. Which is not a funny thing. But it's like so uncomfortable that it's funny, right? Yeah. Pretty reasonable, but that was so much cleaning. Yup. Adulting, right? I hate adulting. I hate it. I hate being an adult. I don't know how this happened, but all these... Oh, the lighting is not as good as in person. But all these are ended threads. Like, until it got to here, it was like a perfect pastel palette. It's kind of cool. Adulting is so annoying. Oh, I missed your last one, Lanny. You already cut your goal from 1,200 to 950 for the week. Yeah, that's reasonable. Adulting is very annoying. Dude, we went to get our license. Our license transferred to Maryland. And I don't know if y'all have ever changed states or gotten a new license or something. $73. $73 just for a license. $73. And then I think about all the people who are moving to the United States, and they don't know that it's going to cost them $75 to get an ID. And then they make DMV or DOT, whatever it's called, in states that have more than 1 million people, I guess I should say, because North Dakota, it was like the easiest thing ever, and it was pretty cheap. And like traffic tickets in North Dakota are so cheap. You can speed like 15 over the speed limit, and you get like a $30 ticket. And then you go to the next state over, Minnesota, and it's like $350. But whatever. Yeah. So, driver's license. So here's how it works. In the United States, you can get your license, I think at 16. It depends on the state. Yes, for driving cars. So I was, back in the 2000s, it was a little bit different because I got my license at 14 and a half. And you could get it at age 14 and a half if you did road school. So like you took driver's ed where you have a trainer and they teach you how to drive by yourself, I guess. So then I got my license, my driver's license. You get a learner's permit when you're 16, I think in most states. In North Dakota, it was 14. I think that may have changed though. You might have to be 16 now. But you get your learner's permit where you can drive during the day, and you need a licensed driver in the passenger seat at all times. And then when you get your license, there's a driver's test. So that's just hey, Jessica, Weaving Rainbow. There's a written test, or like a test where you have to answer the answers correctly. And then when you get your license, it's a driving test. So somebody gets in the car and then you drive. Which we went to the DOT, and they were just doing the driving test in a parking lot. I'm like, what? In the UK, you use one license for driving in all 4 countries. Okay, that makes sense. It's a pain to do, but at least you only got to do it once. Yeah. In Texas, you can get your license at 16. Yeah, I got mine at 14 and a half. Pretty early. Learner's permit at 15, yeah. I think every state is different, but so we went there to the DOT. What am I doing? Never mind. Okay. So they make the process really difficult. As Ashley said, you have to provide so many documents, like your social security. Well, your social security card, another form of ID. Maybe that might be flexible if you don't have an American ID, government issued ID yet. But I guess the social security card is. Oh no. Bye, Erin. Good to hang out with you. I'll see you soon. And then for me, like, I got married 3 years ago, but because some of my documents, because I haven't changed my passport yet because it's not expired, I, still have my passport in my maiden name. And so I have to bring my marriage license, which, here, it's so funny. When we got married, we went to the county that we got married, which is a really tiny county. There's 600 people in the whole county. And so the marriage certificate just looks different than, say, if you went to Baltimore County or Howard County or whatever and got a marriage license. So we went and we got it the same day. And then the person who gave us this certificate was the one who married us, the judge. And so and it was cheap. It was cheap to get married in North Dakota. But then I showed I showed the guy my marriage license because my passport is in my maiden name and I have a California license in my married name. And he had to show somebody else and he was like, "Is this real?" He was like, is this certificate real? It made me laugh. I don't know how many marriage certificates he's seen from North Dakota, and he was like, is this a real certificate? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, this was all they gave you? I was like, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it was very entertaining. But yeah, so then $73, and then to get license plates in a new state, it was like $250. And then I was like, wait, so what if people can't afford this? And then they're doing something illegal because they can't afford it. They can't afford to just drop $250 on getting their license. Moving is so expensive. So expensive. In the United States. I don't know how it is other places. You got divorced in 2013 and still have your ex's name. I'm too lazy. Right? Like, boy, if I would have known that it would have been so difficult to change your name and get everything done in your new name, it's like, oh, maybe I should have kept my maiden name. Ashley, move at your own... Okay, I'm not gonna diss on North Dakota today. But I'm still gonna say move at your own risk. You need new license plates because every state in the United States has a different license plate. So then you have, and every state is different. So when you move to a new state, you have to like check the laws and be like, oh, if I don't get my new license plates within 10 days, I am committing a crime. So like in California, they have this like grace period or whatever where you're supposed to get your new license plates, your California license plates. And like they can give you a fine if you haven't done it within a certain amount of days. But the people, I feel like, government, people who work at the DMV or the DOT, whatever you call it, in your state, it's different in every state. I feel like if they have a heart, they'll just like kind of let something slide. Like, and maybe this is illegal of me to admit this, but I won't say who. Either my husband or I went to the DMV, the California DMV, and the person said, how long have you been here? And either my husband or I said X amount of time, which was well over the grace period. And they were like, oh, no, you moved here last week. And just fudged the papers a little bit. To help us avoid a huge fine. Like over, I can't remember what the fine was. It's probably like $300. So then, I don't know why, Coco. I didn't make the system, but you have to, you have to get new license plates every time you move to a new state. Yeah. And they cost, in Maryland, they cost $250. It might have been $270 or something like that. Not cool. Okay. Now we're getting into some confetti-ish stuff, y'all. So bear with me as I don't stitch very much and have a wonderful conversation with y'all. Just so y'all know, we're going to stop in 20 minutes because Michelle Bendy is streaming on Twitch in 20 minutes, and I want to catch that. I might go back to 9:30 Eastern Time. Sorry, Betsy. Yeah. Sometimes they have a heart. I think they do. For insurance purposes. Yeah, and also, car insurance is different in every state, too. So, what Ashley said too. Maybe this is, what's the population of the UK? Yeah, UK, as of 2019, y'all only have 66 million people. The United States has 350 million. Yeah, you get a new license plate number, yeah. So I suppose, it's easier for each state to just take care of it because she's chatting, I think, Jessica, although the schedule is changing a little bit for her because she's working later, so she's doing her floss tubes on Wednesday. I'm not really selling it. I'm not trying to. I guess my generation is just the whiners, but I feel like some of it is justified because there's so many hoops to jump through once you become 18, once you become 21, once you become 26, in terms of becoming a legal adult, 21, being of drinking age, whatever, 26, losing your not being able to be on your parents' insurance when you don't even have any capital. You don't have a house because you can't afford a down payment because you've been in college. So it's like, I don't know, Ashley, maybe you could chime in if you have any thoughts on this, but the US is changing everywhere in the world. Is changing so quickly, and especially here where it's like you can have anything you want. That's the American dream, right? You can be free. But then there are so many extra things that cost a lot of money that can just kind of stop you from wanting to do anything. I don't know. I'm gonna get in trouble, I think, for talking negatively about this. Yeah. You don't think I'm whining? I can see how ridiculous it is. And another thing is that our education system, now I don't know if this is across the board, but it kind of seems to be across the board, where the amount of financial planning classes that you have in high school are very low, few and far between. Your movie version of America is everything is awesome and works except student loans and the DMV. Pretty accurate. This is not the American dream, he was told. Yeah. That, oh, yeah, I was saying, in terms of financial planning, because, I took a vocational agriculture class, which is learning about farming, basically, because I lived in North Dakota where farming was the main source of income, for the state at the time. That was before the oil fields were there. And, I learned how to balance a checkbook, but it was specifically for farming. Yeah, healthcare. Yep. It costs $10,000 for citizenship. Oh my gosh. We're forked. Yeah, learning as you go, Jessica, which is a way to learn, right? I feel like the majority of people learn as they go. Oh, I need this document. What are the steps that I have to go through? And thankfully we have Google to just be how do I do this? But also, I think some of our it's kind of something that you wish you would have learned. Oh, when you turn 21 or when you turn 26, you're gonna have to be responsible for X amount of dollars a year just to go to the doctor and not pay anything for it, or not pay out the nose for it. Like, again, I don't want to sound like I'm whining, but it kind of seems like this is something that we could have been told beforehand. This goes for anyone who's has to learn this stuff on their own. And so, like, I think about people who are my age and did not have parents to give them, to help them with a loan. So if I wouldn't have had a loan from my parents, I would be paying up the wazoo in interest for student loans. And then there's like this expectation that you go to a good school. So then the good schools are expensive, right? And so you just rack up tens of thousands and sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt when you're 26. And then you have to, society says, oh, you should buy a house. Oh, you should. And if you're single, like, what are you supposed to do? How are you going to get a job that's going to pay you enough to get caught up on this stuff? Like, you're going to be paying off your student loans until you die. You'll pay $10,000 for U.S. citizenship. Who wants to marry me? I love that. Oh, no way, Jessica. Awesome. Music ed. I mean, okay, so I have to say, like, becoming a teacher was kind of smart on my part, I feel like. Because and I lucked out, though, because the places that I was am a teacher, pay kind of good. Like, if you're going to be a teacher in North Dakota, starting salary is like $20,000 a year, which is not very good. $20,000 a year. Granted, rent is cheaper, but still not very good. I feel like this conversation got away from me. What is the point of going to school, right? Sorry to hear that, Jessica. Yeah. Zan, true. Yeah. Also, something that some people don't understand is family dynamics. And when they're less than ideal, how do those people make it? Like, I think of all the things that my parents paid for me starting in high school. And okay, so like, I wasn't super lazy. Like, I had a job at 14 milking cows, but I didn't pay for housing. I didn't pay for my cell phone. I do now. But guess what? I'm still on my parents' plan because it's cheaper to stay on my parents' plan. Oh, whoops, not there. And my husband is on his parents' plan. But then what if you don't have that family support system? Or what if you have a single parent household? Like, there's so many things. I feel like there's so many things that determine our success in society, which we should just throw that out the window. Being successful is not like making a bunch of money and being comfortable. If I get kicked off for a second. That's strange. Oops. Sorry. What happened? Yeah, I got kicked off for a second. OBS kind of freaked out. Where did I put this? Oh, okay. I didn't put it anyway. Yeah, well, it's great for me. What about all the people who it's not great for? And also, there's been this idea in the United States for a long time, and maybe this is true in other places, where like it's kind of like every man for themselves, right? If you didn't work hard enough, you don't deserve it. If you didn't like if you didn't start working when you're 12, then why do you think you deserve all these things? Like, some people think that. And don't acknowledge that their experience is very different than everyone else's. I think I'm gonna... Yeah. This is how I feel. So, thinking about all these things, in some ways it comforts me because I know that there are so many problems that are beyond my control. Like, I've been rewatching The Good Place, which if you haven't watched the show, it's really good. The Good Place. And they talk a lot about like morality and the choices that you make and the consequences for those choices. Oh my goodness, Jessica, I'm sorry to hear that. OBS is having problems. Problems. What's wrong? What's wrong, my dear? Yeah. I guess we're back. Sorry, everyone. I don't know what's going on with OBS. Might have to reset my stream key? I don't know. Rainbow, yes, my mom is still with my dad. And, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. Because they were able to do that. It is a stupid way to think, Lanny, because I mean, I guess it's why there are less than 500 people with the same amount of wealth as the other 349,999 people. I can't say numbers. Like, there are less than 500 people who have the same amount of wealth. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. I'm glad you're going through it, because if you avoid it, it'll get worse. Not to mention all the trauma, like, yeah. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, like, I can't, there's a lot that I won't be able to fix, but there are choices that I can make that will hopefully be best for the most amount of people. Good to hear. Like, for example, here, I think I'm gonna stop, because we're gonna stop in 4 minutes. Like, when it comes to products, I didn't want to buy new furniture. I did because it was convenient to buy a new desk or a bed frame that I can assemble in my apartment. But I was like, there's no way I'm buying a new couch because there's used ones available. Oh, Zan, I'm sorry. And a table and chairs. Like I was like, why would I buy a brand new one when there are plenty of? But then there's this idea that like if there's one little scratch on a table or a chair, it's like, no, I don't want that. No, give it to me. I'll love it. Environmentally, your impact. And if me, one tiny person, made that choice instead of buying a new one, like, it compounds. The more people who are aware that change could happen, and B, are willing to make, I mean, I don't view it as a sacrifice anymore, but I did view it as a sacrifice because I sacrificed convenience. Futons. You know, that could be an idea. But I was like, I'm just gonna get a used chair. Dude, y'all, look at this chair. I got that thing for $15. And then the darker one was like $60 or whatever, but it's the Lazy Boy. I got the red one for $15, and it's like a very comfortable chair. I know I already talked about this I think I talked about this on my last live, but like, you sink into it, and then it supports your back. So your tushy's comfortable, and your back is, but then you're not like slouching. I love that chair. It just took time to sit in all the chairs at the place and sit in and decide which one I wanted. Like, that's all. And I feel like, you know, some systems in this country capitalized on the fact that people just didn't have time to do some reading on the subject, or because they were like, you need to work, and then you need to work and prepare, or like provide for your family or whatnot. Well, this has been a very interesting, revealing session. So I hope y'all will pop over to Michelle Bendy's live stream on Twitch. You can find it by, if there's anyone here who doesn't know how to find it, just type in twitchtv.com and search Michelle Bendy. Twitch.tv. Just Google Twitch and it'll pop up. And then search for Michelle. Deep chat today. You know, I can't think of any other way to be, so deep chats it is. I'm gonna go refill my coffee. Oh. See, how do I find myself so weirded out by social interaction? But y'all are my people. Like, you are teaching me to care about strangers because you're showing me so much kindness and love, and I love it. All right, I'll see you in Michelle's live. Have a great weekend, rest of the weekend, and whatnot. All right, bye.